I hope Porsha knows that Simon is not going to let up. I hope she's ready because it sounds like she is going to be going back and forth in court about this prenup.
Yeah, but it's so messy.
It's so messy. It's like sloppy.
Also, Simon is clearing up the rumors about whether Shamia set Porsha and Simon up. So we're going to get into it. First of all, shout out to Michelle Italian, because she was the one that did the interview. Now let's get into it. Let's just be clear. Simon definitely has plans to continue to take it back and appeal the prenup. He said that he feels like the judge disregarded or didn't look at some of the evidence in front of him. Sounds like Simon is going to be appealing until he cannot appeal anymore. So I hope Porsha is ready for the fight. Simon did also say something that was really interesting. He said that apparently he offered to give Porsha half of the equity in that house, provided she leaves the house immediately, and she declined it. I'm not surprised though, because at the end of the day, she wants to film in the house, a house that she helped you pick, that you guys picked together, a house that probably also was furnished alongside her. Most women are not going to want to leave a home that they created together, a home that has all the furniture and all of the things, all of the specific things that they wanted put in the house. And then if you think about it, there's an added layer of her being on the show, Real Housewives of Atlanta. She wants to be able to show the lifestyle, show the houses, show the cars. So of course, she's not going to want to pack up and leave, especially when she's already signed up to come back on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She knows that she has to give them the storyline, show them the property. I don't think that Porsha would have anticipated that Simon will push back so much, including fighting this and fighting for her not to be able to film in the house. So I think that that's why Porsha at the time was really pushing for the house. And now that time has gone and she spent money, she's like, I have to get the house. My thing is, I can understand from Simon's perspective, him feeling like, okay, let's reach an agreement. Let me buy you out. Let me give you the money in cash. But at the same time, I also understand from her perspective, she's probably thinking all of these things that are coming out about you. Are you a scammer? Is there something I should be worried about? So maybe those are the things that are making her feel like even if you give her cash, what is she going to do if the feds come back for the cash? And she has already reached another agreement with you. So that's another thing that I feel like her lawyers may have also advised her about. Like, no, girl, just follow the prenuptial agreement, please. Besides, I think negotiating for something that you already have as a slam dunk is probably not the best way to go about it. It's like you have to also be getting rid of something, and you have to be giving them something that they want. So if you're not giving her what she wants, what does she get out of it if she just waits for the prenup to be enforced and she can get more? Whether or not you like Porsha, I completely understand why she may have just thought, you know what, let's just enforce the prenup all in all. Now, it's very interesting. Simon addressed the scammer allegations. He said that if we look at all the paperwork, he was removed for one reason, and it was a name variation. And that he had taken out, I think, his first name and used his middle name or something along those lines. Honestly, I did not understand that. I actually just felt like, I find it hard to believe that you were removed from a country because of a variation in your name. So I don't know if you guys know what he's talking about. Please clarify in the comment section below. But for me, I was like, my head hurt just listening to him say that because I just did not get it. Now, I did think it was interesting to say that Michelle asked him about whether or not he would be looking to maybe come back through one of those high-paying visas, right? And he was like, he can use the money to do something else when it comes to business, and that he doesn't have like reasons to be in the US aside from his children's graduation. He also shared that he had made the decision to move out of the US a year ago anyway. So like, it's not like he is really like hell-bent on being in the US. And I can understand that for various reasons. It's like, if you already have business interests out of the United States that are doing really well, it's like you're just like, so what is the point of being in the US? Especially where somewhere like Dubai you are not paying taxes. All of these things are highly beneficial for great investors and people that have a lot of money, right? So I'm not surprised about that. One thing I really want to talk about is he cleared up the whole timeline of Simon and Porsha. Simon basically said that he had set his eyes on Porsha years ago. I believe in 2014, they had filmed at his restaurant on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but they had no interaction at all. But that was the first time that they met. He did also say that Porsha had slid into his DMs when the whole divorce with Fallon happened. I feel like that finally clears it up, because a lot of people have been speculating that Porsha took Simon from Fallon. So Simon has no reason to lie about it, because if anything, he would probably want to expose Porsha, right? So I personally feel like he has no reason to lie about it. Like, what would be the benefit of him lying to say that they met at a later stage when they did in fact meet differently? Now, remember we had discussed whether Shamia introduced them. Simon is clearing it up a little bit, okay? So Simon basically said that Porsha slid into his DMs and was saying she's praying for him and his family. And he was saying like he was laughing at the time and he had been drinking. And so then he responded and entertained it. Turns out that Porsha was actually out at the same time with Shamia. Now that is interesting. You know why I think that's interesting? Because it sounds like Porsha was out with Shamia. They're kicking and Shamia's like, girl, reach out to him. Reach out to him. Like, I think you guys would be a good fit or whatever. That's what it sounds like. Now, Simon, of course, was not privy to that. So he did not say that. But what he did say was that Porsha and Shamia were at the same place together when Porsha decided to DM him. He doesn't know whether Shamia was the one that told Porsha to DM, but he knows that that was literally what happened, as in Shamia and Porsha were together at a place at the time. And in the edits that Michelle did, you could actually see the clips of Shamia and Porsha hanging out then. Now, fast forward to their first date. Guess who was on the date? Shamia and her husband. Because I'm not being funny. Why are you there on a first date with Porsha if you did not take any steps in the background for that to happen? That's my question. Because I don't know anybody who would go on a first date with somebody and bring a couple, unless there has been interactions in the background, unless it's something where the couple know this person I'm going on a date with, and so that they can help facilitate the conversations between us. If I'm being honest, I'm very inclined, and this is not because of all the drama that happened with Shamia, but I do think Shamia was out with Porsha that day. They were kicking, drinking, and Shamia was like, text him, send him a message. And she was probably like, oh, I don't even know what, and Shamia probably knows his Instagram. She's like, oh, this is his account. DM him, or whatever, right? I feel like that's probably what happened, because why else would they be on the first date? It doesn't make sense. It gives like you guys were heavily involved in some way. I have never been on a first date with another couple, ever. So it's a little suspicious to me. It's giving a little bit like some strings were being played in the background. But let me know what you think. Do you feel like that means that Shamia introduced them? Or do you feel like it had nothing to do with Shamia? Shamia was just present at the time. Let me know what you lot think in the comment section below. I think it was also interesting when Simon does talk about Gerald, because Michelle asked a question about Porsha saying that Gerald warned her about Simon. He was like, he doesn't know what that would be about. What it sounds like is Gerald and Simon are not exactly friends. They are cool, but they're not friends. So it's like one of these socialite sort of friendships where you come over to my bar, you hang out at my bar, we see ourselves in Atlanta because we're all in the same scenes. But are we friends like that? Probably not. But then I think because the first date was as a unit, I'm not surprised that they then went on to start doing trips together. Now, if in fact it was Shamia that was really pushing Porsha to reach out to Simon, Knowing everything that we now know about Shamia, was this a plan to get Porsha tied up? Or was she genuinely being a friend in that moment and trying to make sure her bestie gets a rich man? Or were you trying to make sure she got a scammer? These are my questions. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. I want to know what you guys think, so let's continue the conversation in the chat. I'll speak to you later. Bye.